Hello guys, and this time we have another review and it's on the X-SHOT Hypergel clutch. And today we'll be firing it at outside, or I actually already fired it, so I pre-filmed it together with one other firing test outside at the actual range. And I'll keep doing that. Mainly I'll be filming 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 firing tests each time. Either way, let's start reviewing this blaster, or with the external review. Starting at the front, we do not have an anti-static barrel lock, but that is because this is a gel blaster, not a blaster that, well, can actually use anti-static barrel locks, and it's also from X-SHOT. At the top, we have the hopper door, which you can just pull back and it locks into the back position, and you have the hopper up here. The hopper holds 100 balls, or the gellets, but in my testing it holds a way more, around 400 balls, which is way more than they are advertising. So yeah, X-SHOT, I don't know why you are not actually saying how many it has, but yeah, it holds around 400 and 300 balls, which is a lot, especially since this is a spring-powered pump action blaster that you just prime like that, and it does have an air restrictor, so you can dry fire it. And let's talk about the pump grip. The pump grip is big, comfy, and it does have a nice back stop and a front stop. It is very comfy, very smooth, and it does not have a ratchet prime. It has a standard pull back prime. The prime is super easy, and while this blaster does not have slam fire, this does mean that you can just hold on the trigger, prime again, and then actually prime, and you'll fire 3 balls. With 2 or 3 balls it works pretty well, and with more than 3 balls it starts shooting a bit less, but you can just do that and fire like 8 balls. And it will fire them at around 30 feet, but yeah, this blaster shoots pretty well, and we will talk about that. But let's get back up here, which we have some Picatinny rails, which you can put your Picatinny attachments on, although you might have to watch out for it because, well, the hopper goes to here, so yeah. Now you can load this hopper just by opening it up here and loading balls, although they might jump out, which is not the best. But actually how it's designed is by this magazine. This magazine doesn't actually feed your blaster. This is a gravity-fed hopper, and the hopper is back here and it is slanted, meaning this blaster feeds almost every time. What about this magazine then? Well, you can open it up here. You have this little door that you can just open, slide down, and then you can put around 400 balls inside. Put it in your mag well, and then to load the balls you just flip the blaster around. It has a gravity door, meaning you can reload it by just that. And you can still use the blaster like this, or if you want to hold the magazine inside but you don't want it to feed or it's empty, you can just close it up like this. So you can have these on go, so you don't have to actually reload it like this. You can just take out the mag, put in another, and then flip it around. And that works pretty well. Now let's talk about mag insertion and the mag work, or whatever you would call it. The magazine itself is really well built. It's super thick plastic, it feels nice, and it's transparent, meaning it looks pretty cool. The mag, well, it is angled and it is very smooth to put it in, and the mag release, which is this kind of in-finger guard mag release, it is a bit sharp on your finger right here. These little ridges might be a bit sharp on your finger, but you can also just press it with your thumb, and when you do press it, well, it mag drops, which is really nice. It is a very nice mag drop that you can just release it. Although the mag release is not the best, it's not bad, and because you will not be removing this all that often and you can just remove it with your thumb, it's pretty good. And onto the trigger and on the grip. The trigger is nice. It is a metal spring trigger. It is very smooth and clicky. And when you actually try the blaster, there is a little bit of give and then you fire. That is very nice. At the top you also have the safety. In this position it's safe, and when you push it from the other side, now it's locked and you cannot pull the trigger. One cool thing you can do is when you hold down the trigger, then pull the safety, well, now it's unsafe, but the trigger is stuck back. So yeah, then you cannot prime it. But the trigger is pretty well, although it does feel a bit cheaper than some triggers. It definitely has a bit of rattle. The grip, on the other hand, is very good. The grip is large, it has nice detail on the side right here, and it has this nice chamfering or detail on the back. It is a very comfy grip that is not too big, not too small, and it's really good. You also have a sling attachment point in the bottom, and that is the only sling attachment point really there. The grip overall is pretty good, and it will be good for basically all people. At the top we also have a bunch of sights. We have the rear sight around here, a rear sight here, and a front sight here and here. So, and when it's attached, this is one. So you kind of have a 3-point setup, but this one doesn't really work. But this will be good enough, especially since gel isn't all that accurate, so you'll probably be shooting this from the hip. But it's pretty good, and that's all the external overview. Now let's get onto the detail or the looks and plastic quality. Starting first with the looks. It looks really, really nice. It has their printing design from the whole Gelfire series with these kind of stripes or tiger stripes. Then you have the X-SHOT logo melting away. We have this energy logo, you have these grills, and there is a lot of detail and it feels nice. The printing feels really textured, and it just gives you a premium quality of this. And this blaster is actually built really well. It does not have any soft plastic, and the creakiness it does have is very, very unnoticeable. Keep in mind, I'm doing it close to the mic, so it is a bit more sensitive. This is probably what you hear. That is not a lot. And the plastic quality, as I said, is really good. Yeah, it's great plastic. The ammo, while I don't like gellets too much, this is the other gel blaster I do have, and I kind of like it. It's way more accurate than anything I have currently. It is fun, it shoots hard, and well, these gellets are really, really sturdy and decently good. They're really good. The gellets that come with this are pretty nice. Now, the gellets do have their problems, but we'll talk about them after you see the firing footage, which I will show you now. Okay, so I'll be shooting at the target here outside at around 25 feet. And I'll be shooting for the balls, and the magazine is currently closed, but I will open it right now to load it up by just working it over. So yeah, I'll be shooting at it, and yes, I'm doing this at the same time as I'm doing tests or firing tests for other blasters. So let's go. Now we're going to be shotgunning it by just holding down the trigger, priming, and then priming again. Let's go. So, as you could see, the new firing test, while it is way better because we have an actual target and it is around 25 feet away, unfortunately there was not a lot of sun today, or the sun actually went away like an hour before I started filming the video. you couldn't see any of the gellets, which is pretty hard to show with a blaster like this. And I don't think I'll be able to show you the gellets actually firing, besides if I get a new camera, which might happen if my dad gets a new phone and his phone is around the same as my phone but has way better cameras. So watch out for that if that happens, because that will be good. Either way, the firing test for this blaster wasn't great, but for another blaster, for example the double punch, which actually filmed the firing test after this one, that is way better, and yes, I still have some things to work out. Now last review, or the, well, Motoblitz review, I did fire it in here at the targets, and honestly, if for example I have to roll out a video, I will probably fire it in here, and if it's like if it's night or rainy outside, and I'll film inside the firing tests for vertices, because I want to fire them, but it's not really important that you see the range, more that you see the actual way they work, and that would be too much work to go outside not getting paid by YouTube and doing that. If I start being paid by YouTube, well, I'd probably put a lot more effort into this, but yeah. Anyways, let's get back to this. The performance is okay. I believe it has around 150-200 FPS. I do not have a chronograph and I don't really remember what the performance of this is, but it does perform a bit about the same as Nerf gel fire blasters or like other gel blasters. Overall, it is really nice. It has nice accuracy because it is a Springer, and because, well, this is not a full auto blaster, which gel blasters, because they're not really accurate, depend on high rate of fires. This you can fire really fast, and you can shotgun it. That didn't make sense because I was actually try firing it, but in the firing test, when I actually shotgunned it, you could actually see some stuff, I think. But overall, this blaster is really nice, especially for the $15-20 you pay for this. And well, only other thing you can get for that price is the Nerf Igniter, or the X-SHOT Stinger, I think it was called, which is basically a T-Pool gel fire blaster, which is decent for like half the price of this. But this pump action, which I think is better, it is better in every single way. Also, since this doesn't have a hopper up like a bottle, but this, I really like this blaster. Now I do plan on getting some other ones like the Tracefire and maybe the HPG 700, but they're pretty expensive and not easy to get. So that might happen, but not right now. Either way, I think this blaster is really nice, especially if you want to get into Hypergel, as it is pretty cheap and does not feel cheap. It's amazing and also really good for the price. Maybe you could convert this to half length, because well, the diameter of this magazine is higher than that of a half length magazine, so it is possible to make this compatible with half length magazines. I don't think anybody has already done it, but you could do it on your own. Either way, I think this blaster is especially good even for $30, but for $20 it's amazing. And if you are wondering how the gel blasters are and you want to get into it, I think this is a pretty good first start. Don't get the Igniter, it's horrible, and the Stinger, while it is okay, this is way better for barely that much money. So if you like the way this looks, or for example you are interested in gel blasters, or if you already have gel blasters, this is a pretty good thing because there isn't many other things like this. The closest one is the Nerf thing that shoots 5 volts. I totally forgot how it was called. But yeah, this is basically the one there is. Like, this is a special blaster. There isn't that many other versions of this outside, so I think you can get it. I kind of stretched this out and this whole review, and I'm still kind of perfecting my review format. I'm thinking between going full on practical like Coop, or going somewhere between like the Sarah and Brickle, so I'm thinking sort of in between that. And yeah, either way, my videos are doing great right now. They do get a lot of views, but really slowly, and even then it's not guaranteed. I hope we get back on track, and I hope I can get to 1000 before the summer. I will definitely get in this year, unless I stop filming, which I hope I will not. Either way, my name is Nixie, and bye bye.